Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining the 2023 BME DEI annual meeting. My name is Gabby Horsford. I use she, her pronouns. I am the department's DEI coordinator. Our goals for today is to share DEI initiatives among the department and then empower all members to get involved in BME DEI efforts. We'll start by going over some updates of the BME DEI strategic plan, and then our student groups will do brief updates on their work as well. And then we'll end with some updates on the DEI Alliance. So last year, around this time, we launched the BME DEI strategic plan for the first time. It is a 4-year plan that encompasses many aspects of the department. We have 5 main pillars, which are recruitment, retention, advancement, health equity, and community engagement. The plan is the responsibility of each member of the department, from undergrad, grad, staff, and faculty and researchers. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together is our motto. So like I said, I'm going to just highlight a couple points from the plan. I'm not going to go over the whole plan today because that would be a long time, but it's some things I thought were really cool that we've started working towards this past year. So in terms of recruitment, one of our goals is to increase the diversity of the student body. And so our first target here is to increase the number of individuals from historically excluded backgrounds in the undergrad program. And in order to do so, we intend to engage with high schools and community colleges to increase unrepresented first-year and transfer student applications into BME. So as many of you might know, we have 2 partnerships with 2 local high schools, which are both primarily serving students of color. And we are also working to strengthen a partnership with North Hennepin Community College, a community college in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. So by doing so, we intend to do more outreach and more engagement with students to encourage them to apply to BME as undergrad. And there's also an exciting program that we were doing, which I will get to on a next slide. Our 2 middle pillars, retention and advancement. So our first goal here is to improve the environment for all students. Our target is to improve assessment scores on campus climates. This is also a shout out for the UMN DEI survey. If you haven't done that already, please check your emails and do so. And to do this goal, we intend to have ongoing community building. So we have been continuing and increasing our community building activities. For example, we had the end of year picnic last May, which we will continue to do this year as well. In terms of advancement, we want to support underrepresented students through graduation. And one of our targets here is to reduce the graduation rate gap between Pell eligible students and non-Pell eligible students, which can be an income disparity. So we are assessing our classes and our climate to make sure that we any disparities that we have, we are aware of, and then we are looking to see what things we can do to improve that for undergraduate students. Our next pillar is health equity, and our goal here is to integrate equity into the department's curriculum and research. Our target here is to prepare students with competitive knowledge of health equity in principle, and our action is to promote seminar series on diversity and equity in healthcare and research. So one tangible aspect of that is today we're having someone talk to us about health disparities, and we will continue our health disparities seminar for the 2nd time later this month with a talk from Dr. Michelle Allen. She is leading the C2 Dream unit within the med school. And in terms of community engagement, our goal is to share department resources with community members and schools. Our target is to expand STEM access in K through 12. And our action is to create lasting partnerships with metro area classrooms, serving disadvantaged and marginalized communities. So like I said earlier, we are making those connections with schools, and we have established the BME High School Internship Program, which will be in its 2nd year this summer. Last summer, it also won an award, recognizing it as a very effective program. And of the students who participated last year, at least 2 of them that we've asked have already been accepted into the U. One is going to CSE and the other one is going to CBS. So we already have some tangible effects of a really great program. And I'm really excited to start that in June. Okay, so that was my strategic plan update. And now I will be handing it over to BMES, our first student group.
Thanks, Gabby. So I'm Riley Vaughn. I am a senior in the undergraduate program right now and also the president of the Biomedical Engineering Society here on campus. My favorite anti-racism resource is this directory of Black-owned businesses in Minnesota. It's a cool resource to support your local businesses and also the Black community. So just a little bit about Biomedical Engineering Society. We are a student organization that engages with both the BME undergraduate students and then also just any students who are interested in biomedical engineering through avenues of academic, professional, and social programming. Something that we're proud of is our lower division mentorship program. I think that's one of our most successful things that we do. It really promotes a sense of community within the undergraduate body and creates inclusivity within the major. I know I've gotten to get a lot of good relationships with undergraduate students that I wouldn't have otherwise had. And then we also, back in February, celebrated Black History Month. We had a bunch of students come in to watch Hidden Figures and eat pizza, and it was a fun time. And then coming up this semester, we're going to do some high school outreach and just kind of share a little bit about what the Biomedical Engineering Society is and kind of our process throughout coming to the U and how we got to be where we are. And then also we're getting some industry info and network sessions going. And then at the end of April, we'll be doing some blanket making and hygiene kits for the Masonic Children's Hospital.
I got the pink memo too. Cool. Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Boland. I'm the president of BMEGS for this academic year. BMEGS is short for the BME graduate students. It's our lovely acronym. We added a G so you don't confuse us with BMES, who was here first. We are a graduate student focused organization. We have 4 missions. The first is to connect students with professional development activities. The second is to support graduate student mental health. The third is to build a sense of community and camaraderie within the department. And our final goal is to ensure that students from all backgrounds can find a home within biomedical engineering. So one of the things that we are proud of working on this past year was our series of career panels that were centered on demystifying the process of finding different positions. A lot of graduate students in our department, especially within the PhD program, come here without any internship or industry experiences. And so it can be kind of confusing when learning how to actually find an internship in grad school or finding that right postdoctoral position when you haven't already sort of been through that process. And so these were a series of panels where we had members of our department as well as alums sort of share the process of actually finding what is it like to find the right internship? What is it like to find the postdoctoral fellowship with the right mentor or with the right funding, things like that. So I really hoped it helped kind of break down the walls that can make these different career paths so confusing. And one thing that is coming up that we're really excited for is actually going to be taking place at the end of this month, which is a department-wide cultural food exchange. So this is a department-wide potluck lunch. We invite anyone to bring any sort of food that has cultural significance to them. We also ask or give you the opportunity to talk a little bit more about what your dish is and maybe even provide a recipe so we can build a department-wide recipe book of lots of amazing foods. So I'm really excited because I love trying new things and I hope to see you there. And so I'll pass things off. Maggie is next. Yes.
Hi, I'm Maggie Chu. I'm a PhD student at Biomedical Engineering Department. I was a CIC fellow when I first came here in 2020. CIC stands for Creating Inclusive Cohorts, and this was originally a part of the greater graduate school, and we've been integrating it within our department to help bridge the gap between oftentimes like undergrad or just not being in graduate school at first to graduate school, especially for students who usually come from underrepresented backgrounds in higher education / academia. And a lot of us are very passionate about leading DEI efforts in our department. Something that we're very proud of is that since 2020, we've focused on all sorts of different topics in DEI. So for example, when I first came in my cohort, we had a particular focus on racism issues within like the community, within science, as well as and then the next year we focused on some more gender inequity. And then this past year, the new cohort, which we've been passing things off to, has been burgeoning with bringing up issues about the intersection between biomedical engineering and the LGBT community. We're hoping that we can keep working towards this diverse range of topics that we bring up and start discussions about, and that by doing that, we can create these safe and open spaces, not just for our CIC fellows, but also for everyone in the department, our colleagues. And we especially want to invite more guest lecturers to talk about that intersection of DEI and science in their work or in their community. So, yeah. And I will pass things off to Rebecca.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Rebecca. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the current president of Graduate Women in Biomedical Engineering, or GWBME. A lot of our mission is very similar to BMEGS, especially in outreach, community, and professional development. However, a lot of our events focus on trying to support female identifying people in STEM. We do have a board of all female identifying individuals. However, all of our events are open to the entire BME community, since we think that it's really important to make sure that everyone is involved in trying to uplift these communities. One of the things that we're really proud of is continuing to explore anti-racism through our STEMinist book club. This has probably been one of the longest standing GWBME traditions, where we go through about 2 to 3 books per year, picking something either highlighting women, intersectional feminism, or anti-racism. So our previous book was Brotopia. The one before that was Hood Feminism, like Gabby alluded to. And we just announced today that our next book will be Parables of the Sower by Octavia Butler. So stay tuned for that. We always have free copies and would love to get more people engaged in these books. And then one of the things that we're working towards, we're always looking towards increasing our programming. There hasn't been a lot of focus on women who are part of the BIPOC or LGBTQ community. So having events focused on that. As well as just increasing our outreach efforts, especially in those K-12 communities. We've typically partnered with Battle Creek Middle School and even did a virtual event last spring for them, but we would love to partner with DEI or other groups as well to kind of increase that as well. I think that's all for me. Oh, and also, if anyone hasn't checked this out, my favorite resource is the 50 Ways to Fight Bias. It's this really cool free digital platform that makes it really easy to create your own virtual workshop on biases in terms of like unconscious biases or gender biases. They have a ton of scenarios and icebreaker questions. I did one with my alumni network, and it was a really great way for fostering discussion. So check that out. I will maybe pass. Is that fun?
Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate you being here. I don't think I need to really explain DEI Alliance because you guys are all here, but we're a community-led group working towards increasing inclusion and diversity in BME. So I think a big thing we're proud of is just increasing the feeling of belonging across the department. We bring together all sorts of different groups that are kind of under the shed of BME. So if you've attended some of our meetings, I think we have a really great talk. We start off some fun icebreaker questions, and we talk about a lot of what's going on in the current climate of the nation, the university system, and even here in our community here in the cities. some of the initiatives that we're working towards, as Gabby alluded to in talking about the strategic plan, is we just want to increase our knowledge on health equity. That's been a core focus of our group this past year. And we want to continue to put a lot of the ideas we keep getting into action. Some of the things we're focused on is kind of having a better health equity component of our capstone program here, our senior design program. We have the high school program coming up. We're partnering with local middle schools and high schools to do some STEM outreach. And we're always trying to highlight different events. So sadly, because of the snowstorm, we had to cancel our Black History Month trivia, but that's something that we've been doing every year for the past few years. For those of you who are able to attend, I hosted a Native American Heritage Month appreciation event. We went over to Weissman and kind of looked at some Native American artwork there, and then kind of watched a series of videos about the local Native American communities here in the Twin Cities. I want to just share my favorite anti-racism resource. If you guys are really into podcasts, love NPR like I do, highly recommend the Code Switch podcast. It's tremendous. It's really great. I will pass it back to Gabby.
All right, well, thank you all so much for coming. Like I said in the start, the role of DEI and improving the department is a responsibility of each person in the department. So what can I do? If you're not involved already in any student groups, I suggest doing so, or joining the Alliance if you are not a student. The Alliance is a community-wide group. And if you're in the Alliance, help recruit for the Alliance. Help invite people that you haven't spoken to before to meetings or to events. Even if you can't make all the Alliance meetings, you can still make an impact. There's a lot of things you can do on your computer or just talking to other people. Also, increase your education. I am constantly putting new events across the university on the BME DEI calendar. So if you find yourself with a spare 20 minutes, which I feel like we almost never do nowadays, there's a chance there might be something going on that you can hop into. And lastly, you can get inspired by all the amazing things DEI units across the university are doing. There are things going on in other colleges and schools that we have taken note of. And if you bring them to our attention, we will implement those as well. All right, so we are going to shift towards our seminar speaker, Dr. Maribel Vasquez, who will give us a talk on health disparities as it relates to her work in adult vision loss. Thank you.